Alright guys, it's time to talk about Tensor or TNSR on the channel for the first time since this candle right here on the 20th of November. That's about 11 days ago, guys. And this is the longest period that it has actually been above this trend line since this trend line started way back in March. If we go back in the history here, basically you can say it started end of March, and there were only about 3 or 4 daily candles that were sealed above this line maximum before this time. Now, I do think this is probably a good time to start picking up the Tensor. Maybe if it trends back a little bit more towards this trend line, retest it maybe one more time. It didn't really retest this, but again, got very, very close. I would say this is a retest, and these lines are never perfect, guys. Any influencer or YouTuber that says they have perfect lines, they're lying. So, yeah, let's see if it can hold 13.11 cents there. So far, it is trying to do that. It has retested it on this daily candle already today. Yesterday, it did surge up here. And yeah, this is one that I'm looking to pick up somewhere in this area. I don't want to spend too much because there's always a chance it will come back. And a lot of cryptos have fallen back, but Tensor has remained strong. Now, it's a little bit difficult to get the entire volume history here in the chart, but we can see that we are right here, right now. We are pretty much hanging on to this large volume candlestick, and we do need to work our way through the next couple of volume candlesticks, and then I think it's going to get a little bit easier to go up here. Now, once it gets above about 36 cents, I know that seems quite far away. We pretty much have to triple to get to that point. But once it does so, I do believe this is going to go up much faster here. So right now, like I said, it's hanging on to this. It's right on the edge, kind of teeter-tottering, whether it's going to dip back into this large volume candlestick. You don't want to lose the point of control here at 8.2 cents, though. That is very vital. Now, if it goes under that point and starts sealing daily candles or weekly candles under that point, that would not be a good sign for Tensor. Now, as for the Bollinger Bands here, we do have a bit more narrowness back in end of July, August, and through September, really. It's quite wide right now, I would say, but they look like they're actually starting to come back in on one another, but it's not anything, serious, I would say. It's not anything that's playing a role in the price action lately. But let's go to the daily time frame. Now, daily time frame, yeah, maybe it had some narrowness here. That played a role in this pump, but that was like 10 or 11 days ago. Right now, running kind of parallel to one another and quite wide. So Bollinger Band wise, I would say it's not really pinching, so it's not really helping the price action. RSI and Stochastic here. The Stochastic is getting into this overheated territory, so that's not that good. RSI is coming down slightly. So again, we do have mixed signals. It's right in the middle here with the RSI, so yeah, of course it can move back up. It's at one of its highest points, though, in its history, at least on the weekly time frame. Now, the daily time frame. It looks like the blue line wants to curve and maybe get above this red line here. RSI, though, is headed down, but in neutral territory, so it can move up, has room to grow. So daily doesn't look too bad, I would say. The 4-hour time frame looks like it's actually coming out of this overheated territory here with the blue line just crossed red line to the downside. Also, RSI is coming down. Again, both of these are in neutral territory, so they could move back up, of course, and make another move at least on the 4-hour time frame. But it looks like they want to come down, so not so good. Now, the 1-hour time frame, blue line just crossed the red line to the downside. Again, it's still in neutral territory, but pointed down pretty heavily. Also, RSI is pointed down as well, but in neutral territory. So yeah, both of these could at least make another move up here, but they do look like they want to go down here in the short term. 15-minute time frame. This is getting into this oversold territory, which is good on the Stochastic. RSI is also kind of sloping down. So guys, if we take this away, put this on a 4-hour time frame. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, we've been kind of stuck under 15.32 cents for some time now, basically since about the 26th of November. We have hit this several times, and yeah, I do think we need kind of a reset here on these lower term time frames After that, I do think Tensor will push through this resistance and make its way up to about 19.3 cents there. Now we also need to take into account the MACD here, and it looks like it avoided crossing here, this red line, and we do have some dark green candles here, so that is very good. So momentum, at least on a weekly time frame, appears to be up. Hopefully this is not starting to roll over though. It's not so heavily pointed to the upside. It looks like it might be starting to curve around, but it's nothing to fear right now. The daily time frame. This is a little bit worrying though. It does look like the blue line wants to curve to the downside here, although it's kind of running parallel, but it's more sloped down, I would say, just slightly. So we do have these light green candles as well forming. Now, whether we see this start to go back up, that remains to be seen. But in my opinion, it's more of a danger that it's going to cross this red line to the downside, I would say. So at least on the weekly, it looks good, I would say, for now. Daily is a little bit of a worry, but in my opinion, I think this probably has about a 25 to 30, maybe even 40% chance that it's going to basically avoid crossing this red line. Tensor is the number 655 project overall. It's up about 25% today. There's 1 billion max supply here. Circulating is 334.6 million, so that's very low. Also, if we look at the all-time high, it was $2.23, and that's about 94% down at the moment. All-time low was about 2 months ago at 3 cents. So if you picked it up there, you're up about, what, 320%. And does this have a chance to reach $2.23 in the future? Well, I mean, if we go back to the chart, you can see it goes back to about April of 2024. So I would say, it hasn't seen a full cycle. Usually these newer coins, they do see a lot more gains than older coins, for example, like Chainlink or Polkadot or ADA or something like this. So yeah, I do believe this could have a chance to reach it. I do believe this cycle is going to be a little bit longer just because of the simple fact we have Donald Trump and he's played a big role in crypto, and I believe he's really prolonging it, guys. That's just my opinion. And a lot of economic things are going on as well. There's wars. I mean, just a lot of things you have to take into account here, which are prolonging this cycle. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I also have Moodix here where you can get a free 7-day trial. And if you're looking for a cold wallet, you can get CypherRock X1. They're about to start airdropping within that wallet. So basically, that is going to pay you. And you can get 17% off your order if you use this link today. And you can follow me on X here. Now, Bitcoin is struggling today. You can see it did have a big fall from last night, about $5,000 to the downside. And basically, when traditional markets opened up, that's when it started dumping. Now, it is catching support right here at about $86,300. You can see it hit it at support, and now it's starting to get a little bit of a bounce here. So let's see if it can trend back towards this $89,759. And if we go to Ethereum, guys, also doing similar things to Bitcoin, finding support here at 28.23, getting a little bit of a bounce. It's already retested this 28.23 a couple of times. So yeah, unfortunately, it did look a little bit worse than Bitcoin. It lost on Saturday this support here, this trend line, and it hit it yesterday and then basically rolled over. So yeah, this actually looks a little bit worse than Bitcoin, but it's doing similar things, I would say. Now, looking at the Bitcoin monthly returns here, we did actually have the second worst November we ever had, unfortunately. And December right now is not looking too good either. We're down about 5%. And December, it's more red than green. So we need to just basically survive this month, guys. Get to January. The last 6 Januaries have been mostly green, except for 2022. That was a bear market, guys. And I believe FTX may have happened in that month. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was right before it. Who knows. But anyways, guys, I'd have to go back and look. February also appears to be one of the better months as well, just like October. Although we did have a slightly red October this time. We'll see, guys. I do think January and February will probably be better for us. Even March, if you look at the last 7 years, there's only been 2 red Marches. And the last March was just slightly red as well. Now the total market cap is trying to hang on to this long-term trend line here, guys. If we put this on a weekly time frame, you can see that it's trying to get a bounce here. Basically, this trend line has held us up since about October of 2023. So let's see, it does need to break this trend line 2 to the upside. And yeah, it's been under this since about October 7th. Now, that's almost 2 months. So yeah, we do need to break these couple of resistances as well here at 3.05 trillion and 3.1 trillion. But we'll see what point we get to that. Maybe we get to this trend line first. Total market cap excluding Bitcoin, you can see basically we have been trying to get through this trend line and gotten rejected once again. Basically, we've hit this for about 5 days in a row. Today was the biggest rejection so far in the local time frame here, you can see. But yeah, basically, we are trying to hang on to 1.19 trillion at the moment. But yeah, we do need to break this trend line to the upside, guys. This is very vital. Until then, this trend line is going to continue to go down, unfortunately. And we may trend down as well with it. Now, one good piece of news, guys, I still have is the Bitcoin dominance is still on track, although you do see it did get a little bit of a bounce in the last week or so. Again, there's going to be bounces along the way. It's never going to be perfect. You can see on the way up on the shoulder, you know, you have these bounces, and that just happens, guys. So I do think we're probably going to see something like this, where it just kind of bounces along the way and goes down. And eventually, it's probably going to rip to the downside. It's going to do something maybe like this. But until then, I do think probably we're going to see about a month more at least going down, you know, where it's just kind of bouncing around. So don't worry. Unless we see this start to really trend up and we lose this little, like I can say this peak here, then maybe we have to worry then. But right now, we are under this peak, so that's a good sign. So yeah, once we break this red line, that's when we can start to speculate, how fast this is going to go down and how far. And that's a good thing for altcoin holders. Now, on the other side of the coin, guys, I do have bad news about the USDT dominance. Yesterday, it was teeter-tottering right here on the line. And guys, it looks like it has broken this on the monthly time frame. And this goes back to June of 2022, guys. Basically, this is bear market territory here. So we are trending towards bear market territory where people had their money out of crypto. And that is not good, guys. We need this to actually stay under about, I think I said yesterday, about 5.99%. Even 5.98 would be more certain. I could always probably adjust this line, but let's not do that right now. But there is the possibility that, this line is not perfect, of course, and we are still really under this, and maybe this is just kind of another retest to the upside. So let's see what happens. Right now, we can be a little bit worried, though, I would say. Altcoin season index is at a 35 right now, so it's gone down from 37, unfortunately. If we look at the liquidation heat map, $637 million have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. Mostly longs, unfortunately, guys, so be very careful if you're using leverage. Now, if you're looking at the fear and greed, we're at a 24 today. We have gone back to extreme fear, and that's probably because of that dump. But I'm not sure when that happened. Maybe that happened before midnight, UTC time. So maybe this will dump down even more tomorrow, just depending when that dump occurred. I didn't really look to see. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's go to the bull market peak indicators. Basically at 42.28% here. 0 from 30 have been hit. Still 100% hold. Pi cycle top indicator, my favorite indicator and a lot of people's favorite indicator, still far from crossing on one another. Now, looking at the economic calendar, we do have manufacturing PMI here. We got ISM numbers, Atlanta Fed GDP now. We have Fed Chair Powell speaking later today. Moody's is still showing sentiment is risk on. The trend is still growing, but today is negative. So let's see what these two things bring today. They will be measured, of course, in Moody's, and hopefully they, spark some positivity here. Crypto bubbles not looking too good today, but on the hour it looks a lot better. And if you go to Coinando, there's 7 results here for staking your Tensor, so check those out. Don't send coins around blindly, though. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with friends. Like I said, check out some of those links down below, guys. I really appreciate those who have been using them. If you want to become a member of the channel too, you can do so. Guys, I will see you in the next video.